who got picked up by an owl in Missouri and hauled a mile away from the dog's owner.
Those animal friends, those unlikely animal friends always get me.
What kind of dog?
It was a mini dachshund, and an owl grabbed it, and the woman's freaking out, and a guy a mile away found the dog and got it.
Find the dog alive?
Back to the rightful owner, yeah.
Oh,
Puncture wounds probably from the claws.
Don't know about that. But boy, these birds.
Owls, bro.
They are. Yeah, owls, bro. There's a phrase you don't hear every day.
Man, just owls, bro.
I seen something flew over the top of my car. I didn't know exactly what it was. I made it look big, and it dropped something. And when it dropped something, I stopped my car. And here was this little bitty miniature dachshund. I'm glad that I saved her life, though, because she would have never made it. That owl probably would have came back and finished her off.
Even our pets have guardian angels because there's no other way to explain how Fiona is safe and sound and back in our arms.
Fiona. Guardian angels. There's simply no other way to explain my dog has a guardian angel. Well,
Yeah.
listen, I'm happy that her dog, Fiona, is safe and sound. Frankly, I think that a pet should be removed from any home where an adult inside believes in guardian angels.
Why?
You have to remove a lot of animals.
No
Yeah,
one
I
would be
know.
allowed to have pets.
I know. So there you go. Bruce Hereford's the guy who found the dog. Natalie Pollock is the woman who owned the dog in the little clip
Allowed
there
it
from
to be taken away by an owl.
Yeah. News Radio 1120 AM there in St. Louis, providing me with the audio. Yeah, speaking of dogs, more and more bands are using COVID dogs so they can stay on the road.
What does that mean?
COVID sniffing dogs, rather than like having people take tests, or like these dogs can smell it 99% of the time.
What?
So Metallica has got a COVID dog on tour with them. Tool just did their first gig in 2 years in Oregon last night. They kicked off the tour. The very last show they did was March 11th of 2020 in Portland. I'm sorry, in Eugene. Nope. Doesn't matter. 2 years ago, they played their last show, and they're another band that's got a COVID dog on the road with them. So Tool played Eugene, Oregon last night. They're playing songs they haven't played in a long, long time. Danny Carey, of course, drummer for the band, was just in the news a couple of weeks ago for getting arrested in a drunken altercation there at the Kansas City airport after a Chiefs game, I think. He's a Kansas City native, and he was hammered and starting something with somebody, and so they scooped him up at the Kansas City airport. But they got that all ironed out. But yeah, I was reading about a number of bands that are using specially trained COVID-detecting dogs. The dogs are trained. Now, there has to be a better thing than this. The dogs are trained to sit down if they detect the virus.
Oh, boy. That's confusing.
That's got to be very confusing. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Does James Hetfield have COVID? No, the dog's tired.
Just taking a rest.
He's been walking around all day long.
Couldn't teach him to bark
Yep.
or roll over.
Eric
If
Church.
they start barking, it could completely interrupt the show.
Eric Church that's a country guy, right? Eric Church has a COVID dog on tour. Tool, Metallica, the Black Keys have all got COVID dogs on tour that are able to sniff for traces of the virus in anyone backstage, people who are working at the venue, the crew, the entourage. If they detect the virus after sniffing people's hands and feet, they sit down. The dogs are managed by a company from right here in Ohio.
Okay, so there's a routine to it where they...
Yeah, they sniff you and then immediately sit down. It's not just if a dog is sitting.
Just sitting. It's like, uh-oh.
That would be great.
Show's canceled.
Yeah.
Dog's sitting again.
Damn, that dog always sitting.
A number of
We gotta
bands have-
cancel the whole tour. The dog's laying down.
He's rolling over. What the hell does that mean? It means our amps aren't plugged in properly. There are 12. So if you are a band on the road and didn't get one of the first dozen, you're out of luck. There are 12 currently in service and 7 or 8 more in training. 4 German Shepherds will accompany Eric Church during his current tour.
His new song's really good.
I find that hard to believe.
Heart on Fire.
Heart on fire.
Heart on Fire? Is that what it's called?
That's how you think they put it out.
I've got a heart on fire.
Heart on Fire.
Oh. Come over here and
Use my
Not a
hose.
burning
blow it out.
I do have a huge penis.
Heart on fire. Metallica made use of the dogs during their 40th anniversary gigs, and Tool has them on the road with them. So far, knock on wood, says one of the management companies, the dogs have been knocking it out of the park.
Hey, man. Oh, I wonder what they're smelling
rule.
for.
Well,
Is it a certain pheromone or something?
The president of the Biodetection Canine Company said that if you understand the instincts of a dog's behavior, it makes a lot of sense. Dogs sniff each other to see if that other dog has a virus. And so we're essentially training them to notice something that they would be interested in anyway. The dogs have been particularly useful with the rise of Omicron and have been trained to sniff people's masks to detect the variant.
Dang.
Because the variant is different. But I bet that would be a difficult training process. Because you've got to expose dogs to people with COVID. Yeah, what do? You like walk them through the hospital wards, or
Yeah,
you know?
right.
Just take them to Florida.
Overseas, the Irish government is trying to keep artists from going homeless. So the Irish government will pay approximately 2,000 musicians, actors, and other performers a basic income for 3 years.
What?
They're doing something in Ireland called the Basic Income for the Arts, or BIFTA, part of their COVID recovery plan. So whereas in America, it's, well, whatever. If you die, you die. Over in Ireland, they're going, no, we need art. Art has got to be part of our lives. So 2,000 musicians, actors, and performers. We're going to be. Now, I don't know what constitutes a basic income.
Probably whatever minimum wage is.
Well, these are conversations that are going to have to be had over here as well. The rise of like machine AI learning. You're going to have all kinds of jobs. It's not just going to be factory jobs that are replaced by AI. It's going to be like
everything,
every job, lawyers and writers, and so
they're already having like holograms. Like Whitney Houston's hologram tour took over for her residency in Vegas. So now performing, like, why do we need to hire actors? Just have everyone be holograms.
Does the hologram smoke crack?
Does it smoke holographic crack?
Well, get this: it smokes crack and it doesn't die.
Oh, all right.
So you can still have the fun having the rock star around, and they just don't die. Imagine passing a joint to the hologram of Whitney Houston.
Oh, you know how fun it is when you're around a crack-addled rock star. Good times.
Have you ever been around a crack-addled rock star?
I haven't been around a crack-addled anybody.
That you know of.
I think if you rise to the level of being addled, you're going to know.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're a crack dabbler, you go, maybe they're not currently in it. Crack-addled? That's a very different thing.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I just dabble in the crack. Can you dabble in crack?
You can dabble in anything.
You can smoke
sure.
it one time and just be like, all right, I got it out of my system.
That was awesome.
I don't want to smoke crack anymore. I know people who smoke crack one time.
Yeah, I have a friend who did that.
They're like, it's not my thing. I tried it. I'm all for people trying whatever they want, whenever they want, as long as you're not making life hard for another person.
Yeah.
So it's not how they described it, like when they tell you don't ever, or like don't drink, don't smoke, don't do whatever because it's a gateway. If you smoke crack once, you're going to be addicted to it. You're going to always look for that rush again. It's
a
not
friend of
like
mine
that.
smoked meth until her dealer moved.
And
then she quit. She just quit doing meth after her dealer moved.
Does she live in Ohio? It's not
Yeah.
exactly hard to find meth.
Well, she just
Oh,
didn't
no,
feel
my
Like that dealer, though.
My meth connection left.
Well, she just didn't feel like finding a new dealer. So she
Yeah.
was like, I guess I'm done doing meth.
I trust this one. He wants to kill me respectfully.
Right. I don't know.
There's rules.
I had a girl on my podcast that was singing the praises of crack. She'd done it more than once,
I mean,
but
if
it
you
wasn't
like-
something that she was doing all the time. She goes, yeah, it's pretty fun. It's
If you
it's
like
a really
Coke,
good time. Yeah.
you're going to like crack.
Yeah, when she was, what praises was she singing?
She was literally singing, I tried crack, it was really good. I bought crack, it was from the hood. Like
But what
she
was-
just said
She
it was,
made a rhyme too.
Yeah, she said it was great.
But what does the high feel like? Does it
It's
make
just
you?
intense
Does it
and
make
you're
you
like-
want to party? Does it make you want to have sex? Does it like what?
I don't know.
Like,
I've not tried crack.
From what I understand, it's just like a more intense. I don't know. I can't speak on.
I'm gonna say because I smoke pot because I'm like that is like my evening treat after I got done all of my chores.
I don't think crack's an evening treat.
That's what I'm saying. Like I use it to reward myself after I've done everything.
It's more of a party
do.
drug. I think you're gonna want to smoke crack and
You're all
drink and
hyped
party
up
and yeah.
But it only lasts like 20 minutes.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, Coke's going to last longer than crack.
Not by much.
Crack about 15 minutes, Coke probably about half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still an expensive habit.
But again, if you want an evening treat,
What if you just want 20 minutes of feeling good?
Bliss.
there you go.
I got a nice little buzz, half hour of, I had 2 hits of crack, 20 minutes apart, and now it's time to just kind of get some landing gear and call it a night.
It is that is how I view like recreational drug use. I'm like, after you did everything you're supposed to do today, after a full day of adulting, have your little bump if you wish.
Just do a little rock. Just have one rock.
I did my edible, and I'm like, I'm cool. Like, I don't need anything. There's no gateway for me. Like, this is it. I'm too lazy to be a drug addict. I'm not going to get up in the middle of the night because I'm fiending to go find, my drugs. I'm not going to do that.
Listen,
you
Whitney,
should do drugs just to get more stuff done.
Be more active. Work for my living.
Right.
Not be so lazy.
Yeah. Like, I guess I'll sit up and do my podcast now because I'm all cracked up.
Whitney Houston
God.
denied to the bitter end that she did crack.
She says she made too much money to ever smoke.
That's what she said.
Crack is cheap. I make too much money to ever smoke crack. Let's get that straight, okay? We don't do crack. We don't do that. Crack is whack.
Crack is whack. Anytime when someone's repeating a T-shirt slogan, you know that they're lying to
She
you.
doth protest too much.
I dare to keep kids off drugs, okay? Crack is whack. Yeah, I like the rationale that I make too much money to smoke crack.
That's not true.
The thought being, well, if I make a lot of money, I would blow it all on crack. There are plenty of
There's lots of stuff
functioning
to spend
drug
money
addicts. But little nighttime treat, like Gaffigan said, sometimes you want a burger and a crack pipe.
Or just a burger and a crack pipe.
Yeah. Sometimes I want a burger and a crack pipe.
Doesn't that make you like not hungry?
Does that make me a crack addict? Do I smoke crack? Alan, I smoked crack once for 2 years.
That's usually how it goes.
Saying. You can't just casually smoke crack.
No, there are people that will
Yeah.
casually do it. This person just happened to smoke it for 2 years in a row.
There you go.
Probably had some sort of addiction.
Alan, I smoked crack, and luckily, I have only done it 18 more times.
Not that many.
That sounds all right.
Okay.
But what is the scenario?
I mean, it
would you
depends
do
on
it?
the timeline. If they just started smoking crack yesterday,
And they've already done it 18 times.
that's
yeah.
a little much. Everything in moderation.
People pointing out Whitney Houston. I mentioned this earlier, but yes, next month, Whitney Houston will have been sober for 10 years. That is, listen, that's glass half full. That's a tall cup of juice, full, to grab Poundcake's parlance, a tall cup of juice to calm his nerves, and then a little crack rock. The jumbo! Eat a good breakfast, be active during the day, get your steps in, and then smoke a sensible amount of crack for dinner. How about
Stretch,
that?
meditate.
Yep. Do your yoga, do some Pilates, and then at night before you go to bed, crack.
I think you want to start your day with crack.
Let's see if any crack addicts listening. I've got a shot for you to win $1,000 here. They can. Who knows how much that'll get you on the market? But good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword WORK at WMMS.com. That's WORK. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
There's an Instagram model who alleges that Drake put hot sauce in his used condoms so that nobody would steal his sperm. Why wouldn't you just
What's
take
wrong
it?
with that?
Everybody made fun of me because I said in my single years I would take it with me, right? Why wouldn't you just take it with you?
It's how you carried it that had us all weirded
Yeah,
out.
we're like, dude, don't put it there.
Yeah.
A little pinch between the cheek and gums. What's the matter with that?
I mean, it's yours, so do
yeah,
whatever
thank
you
you.
want with
Yep.
it. But
And if some leaks, I go, I don't have COVID. I can taste it.
I just keep mine on the whole time.
pull your pants back up, never take it off.
I just keep it on. Why?
Oh,
It's not
no.
gonna come off.
Puts a twist tie around it.
Nope. Just leave it like how it is, and then just put my pants up.
It's gotta feel so weird. It's like when you're walking around the house and the toe of your sock starts starts to flop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
I just like the notion of Drake walking around with that tiny little bottle of Cholula in his pocket,
Hot sauce in my
condoms in the
bag,
other.
swag.
Yep. The artist with the most #1 singles in history on Billboard, that's Drake.
Wow.
And this Instagram model says that he would put hot sauce in his used rubbers.
These people are not honoring their non-disclosure agreements.
No.
But you don't need a non-disclosure agreement. Tell you what, nobody is going to be embarrassed if it goes public that they're putting hot sauce in their used condoms. That is hilarious, and that is a flex.
These hoes just don't
These hoes ain't loyal. He knows that.
They just need to stay in a hoe's place. Keep their mouth shut.
I will not let you secure the bag, young lady. I'm going to be putting ass reaper in these. They all have those weird names, you know. Like,
Right.
I want to know what kind he uses, because he's probably not using Frank's Red Hot, or he's not
He
using
probably
Cholula.
is.
It's probably the Tabasco that you steal from Chipotle.
It's probably
yeah,
got.
the little ones.
yeah.
It's I bet it's Drake's. This is great marketing if he's getting ready to
His
roll
own
out his
hot
own line of
sauce.
hot sauce.
It kills sperm.
Drake's Sperm Killer Hot Sauce. That's a great name. Sperm Reaper. Yep. He's a
Spermicide.
He's a reapist. He's Drake's White Reaper condom hot sauce. The girl says that she met Drake and went back to his hotel room after smoking a little bit. They hopped up in bed to get it popping.
Who was the girl? What was her name?
I don't know that it says.
Probably per her non-disclosure agreement.
This guy.
I wish Cody
and the
would never
non-disclosure
mention a
agreements.
non-disclosure agreement again.
We should make
Yeah.
him sign a non-disclosure
My
agreement.
goodness.
To not mention the non-disclosure
Yes.
agreement.
Yeah, this doesn't have her name in it. Anyway, she's threatening to sue him. I don't know for what. Not sure for what. He threw the condom out, and to her dismay, after she dug it out of the trash.
So she was trying to
She
steal
was
it.
looking for it.
Well, this might be his side of the story. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is why she's suing, because apparently she was trying to do that, and she found out that he did that because she put it into her body, and it felt like lava. This, this is all, I guarantee this is all made up, too, but,
Stupid.
it's still a funny story.
She couldn't tell it was red?
Of course she could. And
He
you
admitted,
could smell it.
She says he admitted to her. Well, she probably wasn't looking. She was so excited to get it, and she said he admitted to her that he put hot sauce, and she's threatening to sue. This has got to be made up, but still, it doesn't have her name. It's got no,
She's a source.
What would you even
Yeah.
sue? On what charge basis?
Trying to illegally insert someone's sperm.
Listen, you call a lawyer, they'll come up with a charge. A lawyer who smells hot sauce in the water, they'll come up with a charge. They'll go, oh, we could get him on bodily harm.
But he didn't do it. She
I
did
know.
it to herself.
I know.
Goodness
People get
gracious.
sued for a lot weirder things than that.
Maybe he would just go with whatever is available. So maybe he happened to have
Gorilla
hot sauce
glue.
at that time. But maybe sometimes he just uses like hand soap or whatever. You put anything in there, it's gonna mess it up.
But that doesn't mean they all die.
But he's got such a. Does he have a squeaky clean image? He certainly doesn't have like a hard image from what I've seen. I'm sure he wants to be, but this puts him a little bit more on that end of the spectrum. This is a great move if he's doing that.
It's about as far as rappers go. Drake is probably the most mild. He's not a thug. He's not threatening to shoot
Pretty
anybody.
chill, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
Canadian.
He's the emotional rapper.
Yeah,
he's
his-
talking about his
Yeah,
feelings all the
yeah.
time.
his biggest problem is the women because he knocked up a porn star, and that's where his
All
kick
right.
came from. So yeah, no, he's not.
Well, he's
beating
not making that
anybody.
mistake twice. Putting the hot in Hotline Bling. I got a break. You want to get a text for anything? 35192 to give me that way. You can listen anywhere throughout North America on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show. On 100.7 WMMS. Rover's Morning Glory.
So my wife and I were on a